Hello and welcome to Crack Jade Glasses, and this is my introductory thing that I am making, just to see if I even want to do this. It's a thought experiment I came up with, and before you get all pissy, yes, the subject is guns. No, I do not care what your position on guns is. You shouldn't care what mine is. That's not the point of this. The point is to alter perception and see if you think differently afterwards. That's the idea. So, without further ado, guns. So, when we think of guns, we think of what I have pictured here, which is a bunch of guns on a rack, which is, it's accurate. But when I think of guns most of the time, I really don't think about that. Maybe I'm strange, but I tend to think of guns more like this. And you're saying, hey, that's not guns. That's somebody being stoned to death. Well, you're half right. But it's more like guns to me. Because what is a gun? A gun, well, classically looks like this. It's probably pixelated as hell when I blow it up, but it is essentially putting a ball or a rock into a tube with explosive and shooting as fast as you can to kill your opponent. Which is, you trace that back, just a little bit. You get a nice thing of lead ore right there. You melt down that ore, what do you got? Why, it looks like lead ingots. You melt that down into bullets. Next thing you know, you got yourself a gun. Now, I'm not here to say anything relevant, I'm thinking right at this point, but I'm not here to say that technology hasn't changed much, but we are essentially just throwing rocks faster and faster at each other. That hasn't changed. What was once a group activity with a bunch of things like this, I have this up, this stoning procedure, is pretty much the same as a firing squad. So, except now, instead of being this mass firing squad, we are one person with one stone just with a gun and being a one-man firing squad, which is now a one-man stoning procedure. So, that's my thoughts. That's how you get there. So, I want you to, every time you see a gun, don't think it's a gun. Think, this is a one-man stoning. It is stoning at a click of convenience. Now, what that says about our culture and ethics and whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, obviously, as horrible as stoning is, we have probably needed to stone, execute people in the past for crimes. So you could look at it that way. Or you could look at it that, hey, that's a lot of power in your hand. And I think we've kind of dissociated from, a shot on a gun with the idea of actual execution. And that's a tool for execution. Not necessarily murder, but execution. And that is something that I think we should all keep in mind and maybe alters the way you look at it a bit. Like I said, if you come out pro-gun, anti-gun, whatever, I don't care. Just think gun, stoning together. See what happens. I'm out.